Welcome back to the AoT Chronicles, an Attack on Titan podcast. I'm your host, Chad.
Hey everyone, it's Ronnie.
And today we're covering Season 3, Episode 8, Outside the Walls of Orvud District.
Wow, new recording location. This room really just lets the vape that you just blew hang in the air. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, it's because it's got like the sunlight. We've got real reflective mirrors in here.
Yeah, speaking of the sun, it's in a great spot, which means just directly in my eyes. But, you know, this is what professional podcasters do. We get through it.
Yes, you just got to improvise and just grind your way through. So, enough with the complaining, Ronnie. Let's just get right into this episode.
The sun will eventually come down. Come down. It'll go down.
So, well, I don't think I said this either. Episode 45, if you do it that way. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure which way people do it.
What is the right way, you think? Because you always like to get on me for anime purposes, because I try and say things are seasons, because I'm so American. You go, oh, it's
arcs.
It's the arc.
It's parts. It's arcs.
It's arcs. And this one seems to just have both. Do you think in Japan it's just numbered of episodes? Do they seasonize it for American purposes?
I can go through every episode by just its number. So I know this one's 45.
Well, you can't do that, but that's fine. There's no reason
I know Crunchyroll does it by episode number, not necessarily. It does do it by seasons, but it says like Season 3, Episode 45.
Oh, and real quick, let me just say, I've always hated that. Anytime someone...
I love it.
No. I just realized you just did that to make me mad. That's funny. It's just really funny. No, if you can't change seasons and then keep an overall total episode number, right?
Okay. Well, let me do a quick little look here. You keep the audience entertained while I make sure that I'm correct in what
I've just listened to podcasts, right, where they go into different seasons and say they had 20 episodes in Season 1, and then they go, hey, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 21. What's the point of a new season? Just call it, say you're taking a break, and then you come back for Episode 21.
Well, new seasons normally like a new focal point in the story, but we're still in Episode 45 because we've already done 44 episodes before then. I don't know. I don't have
call
an
them
excuse.
seasons. That's when I think the arcs are good.
Okay.
You can call them separate arcs, but then it's just like Episode 47. But
then I think about this show, and I don't really think about it in arcs compared to other anime.
Well, while I mostly agree, this third season, I would say 5,000% is like a different arc. Like, we're just like barely talking about the Titans in this third season.
I guess you could say like, part 1 is the Historia arc, and part 2 is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it.
Season 1 is so long that it kind of encompasses a lot. But,
well, enough of that. Let's just get right into this.
No one cares about this.
Everyone's probably making fun of us. They probably know how it's actually going down, and we're just idiots.
I feel like in Japan, it's probably they just go by number of episodes, but since it became so popular in America, they were like, well, we got to dumb this down for the American folk. We'll just put seasons on it.
Okay, that's probably a good guess. So, we got Levi, Mikasa, Armin, and the crew. You know, they're still trying to find a way back to Eren. We're still down in the cave. Same old, same old. Kenny's squad, they're trying to barricade them off. You know, they're still holding Levi and all of them back because they gotta, Kenny's dream, they gotta let him go through with it. But then that's when they see the flashing light, and as we know, Rod had licked off the Titan spinal fluid from the ground.
Oh, yeah, he licked it off.
And this guy's an idiot, man, because he just starts getting very large.
Huge.
Very large.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because he did not do the injection right.
So you think that this was just like he took it wrong, and so it was a malfunction?
Yeah. I think especially him bleeding in his mouth from when Kenny had put the knife in his mouth too.
Yeah.
It like went straight in his bloodstream through his mouth off licking it. I just feel like that's not how you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
And
you, for one, have always... You know how to do drugs, so that's why... That's a great take by you. You know which way.
Well, I've always taken care of my mom, and I've had to give her medicine and drugs and stuff, so yeah, I guess you could put it that way. Levi and comrades. I don't know why I just said comrade. It's not what's in my notes. I totally just made that up.
Hey, great synonym.
Levi commands is what I meant to say.
Oh, then not a synonym.
He commands Armin and Moblet.
Moblet! Woo!
To take Hanji through the hole up top and just escape and get away from everybody. Their mission is done. We got to protect Hanji at all costs.
Yeah, because she's struggling.
Yeah, she's got a big old wound in her shoulder. Kenny then yells and calls Rod Reese a bastard. And he's pissed off because Rod is just becoming the biggest Titan anyone has ever seen. That's when we go to Historia, who is still trying to set Eren free, but with the whole Rod becoming big and the wind, whatever we got going on, it's pretty hard for that tiny bitch to do this.
You could say, whoa.
Sorry, I don't know why
Jeez.
I called it.
God, we just talked about how she's, climbing back up the rankings, and you're going to go and say some...
I meant it in a good way. She's
misogynistic
No,
shit
I
like
meant it
that,
like she's
bro.
being a bad bitch.
Okay,
that's
well,
what she's being.
That's not how you said it, but...
So, she's talking to Eren, and she's like, I might be humanity's enemy, but I'm your ally. And she starts talking about how she doesn't want to be a god. Because Eren's, he's crying. He's doing his same old bullshit.
He's still begging to be eaten.
Yeah, he just wants to be eaten. He's like, just let Rod eat me.
Eat me.
She unlocks half of I guess part of his foot chain. He's got so many chains. I really don't know why he's chained down that much. But she's unlocking that, and then she gets blown back because Rod is just out of control at this point. But that's when Jean, Levi, Connie, and Mikasa show up, and they finally take over. I think Mikasa catches Historia when she gets blown back, right?
Yeah.
Which is a wholesome moment because Mikasa was not happy with her when...
Well, she just kind of fell in her arms. She was watching Eren
she was
the whole
worried.
time.
Yeah, she was worried about her, though. I feel like she felt comforting to her. But yeah, then Jean and Connie, they unlock Eren with Levi.
Who's still just like... I like how Jean's just like, will you, cool it? Because Eren's still just trying to fight. Just please eat me. They're just like, shut up for a second.
And then I love how it just goes to Kenny randomly, and he calls Rod a dumb shit again while he's trying to escape still. He's just like, this fucking bastard. They get Eren free, and it looks like all hope is lost because Eren starts crying, and he is just bitching, calling himself useless. And then that's when he looks down, and he sees a bottle on the ground, and it says armor. And he's like, what?
Page turn.
That's Connie and Jean, though. They try to hype him up a little bit. I was pretty proud of this moment.
Okay.
But it doesn't work because Eren just keeps saying he's useless. He's just going through the whole spiel that he's said 1,000 times already.
He's feeling real bad about himself.
And then that's when Historia absolutely roasts him and asks if they should just hold hands and wait together while they die.
Jeez.
Gosh, when you have a 4'11" blonde... cute girl being more brave than you are, that's when you know you're just bitch made. Levi says he hates doing this to him every time, but Eren, you gotta make a choice. And then that's when it brings Eren back to good old season 1.
That was the nicest thing you're ever gonna get out of Levi. The fact that he admitted he hates that he has to keep doing this to him, because usually he's just like, figure it out. And this time he had the wherewithal to at least be like, hey man, I know I'm asking a lot, but...
And maybe, too, he's like, I hate having to do this because I know you're not going to do anything worthwhile. And that's when, without thinking, Eren just picks up the armor bottle, runs and bites through the glass, which was so savage.
Which is a potential owie.
And gets whatever liquid is inside. He swallows it, and then that's when he starts hardening. And forms this beautiful, no homo, hardened Titan.
Yeah. Good clarification on no homo. Don't want anyone to get the wrong idea.
And while he's doing that, Levi orders his whole squad to get under Eren, that it looks safe. And Kenny and crew look like they get crushed by Rod's Titan in the fallen cave.
Yeah, Kenny's a little bit higher up. He's taking a couple bumps and hits, but he's trying to finagle his way out of there. But
yeah, and he's pissed at his crew for coming back for him. He's like, "What are you doing, you idiots? Get out of here!" And then boom.
He's probably also questioning how long he stuck around to just cuss out Rod Rice. He was like, I probably should have been trying to get out.
We then go to Armin and Moblet up top, and the earth just looks like it's coming apart.
Yeah, the really cool animation in this episode, just like as a whole.
Yeah. Rod's big-ass Titan busts through the earth in the cave, and he is just he's so big that Erwin's crew mentions that it's probably twice as big as the Colossal Titan, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. You never get a good feel for it, at least for right now, just because he's so big he can't get up.
Oh, yeah, he's just he's crawling. He looks like a turkey.
Yeah.
Like a turkey on a plate. That's what he looks like.
He's so gross. You don't even see his face, but that's the only way I didn't know how to describe him, is just gross.
Yeah, disgusting. He looks like his human form. I feel like he was a gross human to begin with.
He had
you kind of look like him, but
he had a good mustache.
It was decent. And then it cuts to this little flash. This is a weird scene right here. Eren is like a weirdly shaped skeleton. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, what was up with that? I don't
know.
I feel like that's got to be something maybe in the future that we find out about. Like, it's almost like he's in a dream and he's part skeleton, part... I really don't know
if they were trying to say something about the hardening ability or what. But yeah, that was...
Mm-hmm. But then that's when Mikasa busts him out of his Titan and he finally wakes up. And we go to the calling card. Titan Hardening, an ability used by Armor Titan and so forth for a Titan to harden their body. While in hiding, Eren conducted experiments to replicate it so he could plug the wall, but this is his first successful try. And we know because he drank the armor liquid. Pretty obvious.
Just a good old slap down. It wasn't a page turn, that was a notebook flip. But he really wanted to make sure you guys heard it, so there you go.
So then we get a good look of Eren's hardened Titan, and it looks dope as fuck. This thing looks awesome.
It is really... It's just like ice. I don't understand how...
Ice works?
Well,
frozen water.
Here's the obvious thing. I don't know how this is explained away. Every single time we see something hardened like this, we know that this entire layer was made out of Titan's hardening, and it's the same way the walls were made, but clearly the walls look like walls and not this material.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What is there just... Don't ask about it?
Well, we know the walls are made... Or we know that there's a lot of Titans in the walls. I feel like that's still like a mysterious... It's something that's not said on purpose.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So you think we're going to find out more why the walls look so...
Like
clean,
actual
pristine
walls.
And like walls?
Not like diamond or whatever this looks like. Yeah, I feel like we'll find out in the future why it looks that way. I could be wrong. It could just be don't talk about it, but yeah. I feel like that might be something we find out
It's just so
later.
obvious, and at the same time, if you had your choice, why would you want those stupid boring walls you got now when you could look like you live in an ice kingdom?
It's true. That's very true.
For any Game of Thrones fans, they could just be inside 3 walls of the wall in Game of Thrones.
I'm sure we have no Game of Thrones fans that listen to this.
It was a pretty popular show. Maybe, one person stumbled upon it. A couple people talked about it.
So, Levi is even very impressed by this. This is where Levi really shocked me. He just talks about how he's surprised that Eren was able to harden and build something like this within a matter of seconds without ever doing it before. And
that's so Eren, by the way. Never being able to do it and then just doing it way better than anyone could have ever imagined.
Yeah. And I can only imagine what my waifu, Hanji, would think if she saw this beautiful sculpture.
That's true. That's a good point. She would have just melted, I think.
Her pants would have came off.
Yes.
Just instantly. They would have exploded off.
Water pressure would have been nuts.
Connie and Sasha come back down. They had gone up to check on Hanji and Armin and all them, and they relay that they're all safe. And Sasha, I kind of like Sasha in this part. She thanks Eren, but says when he ran off crying like a little baby, she thought they were all done for.
Yeah, really funny. And, I got to give Sasha credit as much as I rip on her. She did secure an exit. Good work. Good job, Sasha. And then she ripped Eren pretty good, and I thought that was funny as well.
I love how everyone's impressed by what he just did, but she still has to mention, look, Eren, you were being a little bitch. We thought we were all done.
Yeah, hey, great work. You really pulled it out for us there at the end, but wow, you suck.
Levi tells them to get ready because they're going to go after this big-ass Titan. They're going to take this thing down, okay? I'm calling it.
How do you take something down when it's already down?
That's true. They all climb out, and Eren still doesn't have a shirt on. He's looking pretty damn shredded.
Dude, he is jacked. He's starting to look like Mr. Friendly Nice Guy.
He is. His abs, man. He has just got like a 10-pack going on.
Yeah.
Just absolutely shredded.
I don't know what the guy version of waifus are. If you do, please, let us know. We might,
It's probably a husbando or husbano. I don't even know.
That sounds too Hispanic. But,
this is Japanese, yeah.
Top 5 male versions of waifus coming soon, and Eren is making a hard push.
Yeah. First is Mikasa when it comes to husbands, and then probably Eren after that. I want to see Mikasa's abs. We all know she has to just have shredded abs.
First episode of the season, they said that they saw her doing abs and she was hurt. She wasn't supposed to be doing anything.
Yeah.
She was still doing her vigorous 60-day ab workout on her Instagram sponsorships.
She probably has a muscle chest, dude. She's probably got a bigger chest than I do. Not, well, obviously, because she's a girl, but I'm just saying, like it doesn't look like she has boobies.
Well, we know one thing. She could certainly leg press more than you because...
Okay, that's messed up.
Let's just say this guy's walking on toothpicks over here.
Well, when you're 6'9", it's hard to get some good leg muscle now. So, you wouldn't know about that because you're 4'10".
Well, and because my calves... You don't know where my calves start and my thighs end. So it's a really unfortunate body type, but
the funny part is it's so true. So they get out and they start looking at this Titan, and the ground and the earth, the trees, everything in its path is just getting destroyed. It's looking pretty rough. Erwin then meets back up with Squad Levi, and he's just glad to see that everybody's all right, except for Hanji. She's the only casualty, but she's gonna be fine.
Did you just introduce Erwin? Is that what just happened? Did you notice his hair was different?
I didn't know. What was different with his hair?
Tell me this. Does he not usually have like the entire front part swaying in one way?
Yeah.
Oh, his hair was 100% different.
Was it just straight down?
He's going for a different look. No, it was almost parted, kind of in the middle. He had some of it going this way, some of it going that way. Kind of upset that you didn't notice it, but, I've always been a very, very passionate about men's hair, so I noticed it right away. I think it works for him. Let's be honest, he's got great hair. He could do a lot of different things with it.
Do you want to ask him on a date? What do you want to do?
If he wanted to go out and hang out, I wouldn't say no.
He is like 6'4", I'm pretty sure. He's a tall dude.
Well, we could come up with some sort of sitting activity. Maybe we'd start a podcast together.
That would be weird. A 4'11" guy and a 6'4" guy doing a podcast? Totally weird.
It'd be called Tall and Short. What a great name.
We go back. Where was I at? I don't even remember now. You've distracted me. The stupid
Erwin
Erwin's
was
hair
notified. It was an important conversation that someone out there listening is glad that we had it because they noticed too.
I think there's just windy out there.
You mentioned that he was notified that Hanji wasn't doing too hot.
Oh yeah.
And isn't looking too hot either because no glasses right now.
She looks gorgeous, bloodied and all.
And 90% of it is the glasses.
So Erwin tells everyone to head back to Wallcena, and that it's most likely going to head for the Orvud district. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right?
That's how I was going to say it, so you know what?
Okay.
Good on you, Chaz. Page turn. And a slap. Hope that sounded good on your end.
Hanji talks over with Historia on the wagon, okay? She's fine. She's just got some shoulder pain, but she's on the wagon with Historia and Eren. Everything is good with Hanji. No one worry.
She is looking rough, though.
No, she is not.
Gosh.
She's just got blood on her shoulder.
Oh, that's it? Oh, my gosh. Woo.
She still has beautiful lips.
This is what you're waking up to every morning?
So, anyways, she's talking to Historia and Eren about the wagon.
She looks beautiful.
Well, not about the wagon. They're on the wagon. I don't think they're talking about it.
Pretty cool wagon, huh? How many miles we got on this bad boy?
We got any wagon guards around here?
We got those special wagon wheels that go over all kind of different types of rocks, or what are we still rocking the old wagons?
What is it, is it the wagon vanguard or the wagon guard? The men? What are they called again?
I think it's just the wagon guard.
Okay. We don't have any of those guys. I just noticed that.
Yeah, no one's guarding any of these wagons, so...
Alright, but she's talking to him about the founding titan and that what Rod was trying to do. So I'm assuming, well, I'm not assuming, but we know that Eren and Historia told her the whole spiel of what happened. She mentions that you have to have true royal blood to fully wield it, the founding titan, but even though you have royal blood and you can control it, that's not going to help because the first king's will not allow you to use your own mind. Basically, you're brainwashed if you have royal blood. So you wouldn't be able to liberate humanity from within the walls because the first king did not want that.
He put it in his blood.
It's like it's passing it down.
It's the most intense will you'll ever hear about.
Yeah. So it sucks because there's nothing they can do.
I'm not buying it.
You're not buying it?
Put me down on the prediction board. Ronnie's not buying it.
Okay, then why haven't they saved humanity in the past 100 years?
I'm not saying that maybe
give me an answer right now.
I'm not saying maybe. Well, first of all, I think some of them are. I think we got it. Well, here, let me just make it very simple. Maybe that's what's been going on for a little bit, but it's not going to happen forever. I'm not buying it.
All right. You heard it here first. Ronnie is not buying it. So, after that little discussion, Eren says, come on, guys. Rod can still just eat me. I want to be eaten. Let's go.
He looks like a very able titan. This thing's going to, once it gets to where it's going in the next 7 days, it's going to do great things. It can eat me right now.
Oh, yeah. This thing's going really slow, by the way. Forgot to mention that.
All I'm saying, the way this titan is right now, until it manages to prop its way up, you know how it's going to have to ingest Eren, right?
Through his anus.
One of those butt pills.
Oof.
Did you ever have to do one of those?
No, I've always had a clean colon. Is that what you're talking about?
You never were like a little... You never had to take a butt pill?
A butt pill?
Yeah.
Through my butt or through my mouth?
Through your butt?
No, dude. I've always had a nice bee-hole.
All right, well, try it out. Really gets to the bloodstream.
Okay, so Mikasa doesn't like Eren saying that for some reason. It's weird. It's like she wants to eat him. And Historia says that that's not the only option. She says they have no proof that you could undo Rod's brainwashing. And if Rod can even alter, or if Rod will refuse to alter humanity's memories, it's over. Because Rod could just easily we all know that if you have the royal blood, you can alter people's memories. And she's like, if he just decided he wanted to do that, this would be all for nothing.
Right.
Because Levi he kind of mentioned what Eren was saying too, and that's what led her to say that. But Historia says it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance now that the power was stolen. And she tells Eren, she's like, look, your dad was actually trying to save humanity from the first king.
And Eren goes, huh?
Huh?
What? But no, I saw a half a second flashback, and I know that my father is the worst person who's ever lived. I know this.
So then, when she says that, we get another flashback, another Eren flashback, and Grisha is telling Eren, he's got a syringe in his hand, and he's telling Eren, if you want to save Mikasa, Armin, and everyone else, you must learn to control this ability. Which is kind of sad, man. It's like the only memories of his father are these memories. I feel like he has some, like when he was... Because if you think about it, 10 years old is when this happened, so...
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. Mikasa says, even without rice blood, there has to be a way to save humanity. She's like, remember that old basement thing that you used to talk about?
Oh, good. They're talking about that basement. We'll probably get to that, like, next episode.
Yeah,
probably.
I would say next or the one after.
Yeah. That basement episode coming soon. Come on back.
Hanji tells Historia that they gotta kill her father. I'm sorry. And I don't know why she wouldn't want to kill her father at this point. But Historia apologizes to Eren because she really thought about eating him. And she wanted to believe her father, and that's the reason she was going to eat him, not to necessarily save humanity. So, she's a piece of shit, is what she's saying.
But it makes sense. I mean, her whole thing with her parent, or her father at least, makes way more sense as to why she would come across as sucking than the whole Ymir stuff. I mean, as we saw, she just had a real rough childhood. And I'm sure you'd want to make in your head, no matter what you'd have to do, that my parents or whatever aren't as bad as it might seem, and I'm going to give them a shot, whereas, I mean, Ymir.
Well, this is a lesbian-friendly podcast. I'm sorry that Ronnie just hates on that type of stuff.
Whoa, don't out Historia as a lesbian.
Well, Ymir is. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but, I mean...
I do agree. The whole thing got tiring, but I did feel like it made some sense. But like you said, it does make more sense, the whole Rod thing with Historia, than Ymir.
Gosh.
But maybe Historia loves Ymir, dude.
This guy...
You've never loved anybody in your life, so you wouldn't know about it.
This guy over here is putting the car in reverse and really backing off what he said a couple episodes ago.
Well, you just don't know what love is.
Backing up into traffic. Watch out for that school bus, asshole.
So Levi has a little private talk with Historia about Erwin's orders. He says, when this battle is over, since you're the true successor to the throne, you need to become the queen. So that's pretty powerful right there.
What does she say?
She says, I'll do it.
See, and this is a little repetitive because we kind of already had the discussion, but... I mean, it's crazy how much more badass, awesome, lovable, beautiful, respectable Historia becomes when Ymir isn't around.
Yeah, it does come to that. Ymir was actually holding her back, is what it was.
Do you think... Because what would Ymir be saying if she was here right now?
She would say, live for yourself.
Yeah, she'd be like... Whereas Historia's just like... She's looking at her friends, all these people she's just been through this deep stuff with. She's like, yeah, I'll do whatever it takes. Where I wonder how differently it would play out if Ymir was there, whispering in her ear and saying, no,
but then that's why
run away and live in a treehouse.
So then you're saying it does make more sense with Ymir.
What?
Like Ymir... So the whole thing with Ymir and Historia, we're going back to this,
Gosh,
okay?
You are such Team Ymir out of...
I'm not. I'm just saying, because I don't like Ymir. But it makes sense because...
Well, yeah, do you want to address how dirty you've been talking about her? You said you wanted to apologize earlier in the week.
All right, this is a family-friendly podcast, so I'll mention this.
Very family-friendly.
I refuse to say the C word anymore, and I apologize to all the emails Well, we've had a bunch of emails from people addressing the C word, controversy.
What C word?
I'm not saying it. Don't even get me to say it. The CU word, and then there's 2 more letters after that. But I called Ymir a few times the C word. I still kind of stand by it, but I refuse to say it anymore.
It's very poor taste.
I'm sorry to anybody that took offense to the C word.
You kept saying it, and every time I had to clutch my pearls because of that vulgar language.
But I'll just say this, in Britain they use that word a lot, and it's not nearly as bad as here, so...
I'm putting the over-under 6.5 before you say it, episodes before you say it again, but that's fine. Thanks for this apology.
So, Historia says, I'll do it, but one condition. She wants to fight alongside her comrades. On the front lines.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
She's making her own choices now. It's not just about Ymir telling her to make her own choices, which then makes her really not make her own choices because she's going off what Ymir says. So it's a whole thing going on right there. Mikasa tells Historia when she's queen that she can punch that runt in his face. Okay, we're at the next scene. Historia's pissed at Levi for saying that, and I guess, well, what do you think this whole thing is about right here?
Yeah, I missed this kind of the first time, and it, not really a spoiler, but it comes back up later on. So break it down one more time. Levi says what that makes her mad?
I think Levi saying you need to become the queen just kind of pisses her off. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. What do you think?
I guess it's super. I mean, because she agrees. She's like, yeah, all right, and then she's like, the fucking nerve of that guy.
I think maybe she's just like, he just thinks, because Jean and Connie did say, hey, I forgot to mention this part. They were like, Levi, don't you think that's kind of not fair considering she just broke away from her family and now she has to take the throne?
Yeah. So
I think she's agreeing to it. She's like, I mean, I want to anyways, but like, who are you to tell me that I got to do that?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Ymir's just messed up her mind so much, she just doesn't know what to think. But yeah, I love how Mikasa's like egging her on.
That's like, I don't even know. I can't think of a good example, but say you're like at a grocery store, right? Okay. And you put all your groceries, you got the shopping cart, you put them all in your car, and then you kind of leave it in a parking spot, and you're like grabbing something from your car, and then some jerk comes like, hey asshole, put the cart in the cart station. And then you're kind of like, yeah, I was going to, but not because you told me to, you jerk. Because you're too nice of a guy to just leave the car in the parking spot, but you didn't need that guy to tell you were going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. But yeah, I love how Mikasa's like egging her on, telling her to do that because she's still pissed from when Levi beat the shit out of Eren in season 1 in the court. I feel like that's why Mikasa's like, oh yeah, just hit him right in the face.
Oh my god, that scene. I missed that scene.
And then that's when they gather to start strategizing, and Erwin's like, we're not going to evacuate any citizens. We're going to use them as bait. End of episode. So Erwin being that sly devil again.
Yeah.
He is just wanting to use citizens as bait, kill them all. I'm pretty sure he said kill them all.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he said kill them all. So another good episode. Chaz, after you hit that vape of watermelon sugar.
Squaba ice.
Shout out Harry Styles. Top 5 OSTs. You got them?
Top 5 OSTs. I'll go off the dome, bro.
You want to do it this episode?
Yeah, let's go for it. I'll go off the dome.
Okay, here we go. So people have asked for Chad's top 5 OSTs, and here they are.
So, I will have to say a lot of my OSTs come from season 3 that I really like. I'll start off with number 5, Before Lights Out, okay? You don't know what that is because you're not as cultured as I am.
Just hum a 5-second interval of each one.
But yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Number 4, 2 Vault.
Oh, you love it. Interesting.
Well, these are my top 5, so I love all of them.
Right. So weird that you'd have to say that you love it.
Number 4, 2 Vault. Another great one.
2 Vault?
2 Vault is what it's called.
As in like TO space vault? Like
2, the number 2, VOLT. It's all one word.
2 volt.
Well, 2 Volt, whatever you call it. 2 Vault, 2 Volt. I like to call it 2 Vault because I feel like the Japanese probably say that.
Well, are you saying they pronounce words wrong? Because that's what you're doing over there.
Have you ever heard them try to say Erwin Schmiffsch? And then number 3. I just said number 4, right?
Yeah.
Number 3. I don't know how to say this one without kind of spoiling. So I'm going to say... let me skip that one real quick. I'll come back to it. Number 2. You think you know what number 2 is?
I see big girl.
You see big girl.
Yeah, exactly. I see big girl. That's right.
And number 1, I'm going to go with Appleseed. By far, number 1 for me.
Oh, by far.
It's not even close. And it's used very well later on in Season 3, Part 2. I won't spoil that. We'll talk about it when the time comes. But by far, my favorite soundtrack in all of Attack on Titan. Number 3, I'll go back to it and say...
We'll just say this. If you haven't reached the end of the series, you don't want any spoilers, just take out your headphones for 5 seconds while he says this, starting now. And go.
Bertolt's theme.
Okay. Hopefully, if you took out your headphones, you're back.
Okay.
You came back at a perfect time because this is the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in.
And number 3 is Attack on Titan, the original one when Eren transforms and fights Annie in episode 24 of season 1. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for that awesome 6 OST, top 5 OSTs. It was really confusing there at the end. Really had people confused. They don't know what to do with that list now because it seems like you kind of just did whatever you wanted to with it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Let us know what you thought about this season.
Please sub to us on YouTube.
thepodcastchronicles at gmail.com. Everything's in the description box. Still, let us know if you want to see that awesome picture that we have that one of us thinks is cool, the other one doesn't like it so much. You can do that same thing at thepodcastchronicles at gmail.com. We'll see you next time.
We love you guys.
Oh, please subscribe, rate, and review. Don't subscribe on YouTube. No one listens on YouTube.
At thepodcastchronicles at gmails.com.
But we're doing this too long. Peace.
Peace.